Hey everybody, Crazy Cricket back again with another video today. Today's video is my African fat-tailed geckos, Nubs and Stubs. These little guys are about 2 years old. The reason that they're called African fat-tailed geckos, if you look closely at their tail, you can see that they have fat tails that kind of look a lot like their heads. And that's why they're called African fat-tailed geckos. Now in the wild, African fat-tailed geckos live in South Africa, but these ones are captive bred, and they're very docile and easy to pick up. Now you have to be careful, you have to be very gentle when you pick them up, just that you don't hurt them. You have to gently lift up. And you never want to grab their tails, because their tails can pop off and they won't regrow back as well and not look very good as the other one that they had before that. The one that popped off. And these guys come from the rainforest in Africa. And what they eat is, they usually eat insects like crickets, grasshoppers, roaches, worms, slugs, different things like that. And in captivity, they actually will eat mostly crickets and mealworms, waxworms, and superworms. You can also feed them roaches. And when you're feeding them insects, you don't want to catch them outside, even though they might be used to eating them if they come from the wild. But they can have different things living on them, like mites or diseases that could harm your gecko. What they eat out in the wild would be a little different than what they would eat in captivity. Now, for caging, you can keep them in a 20-gallon aquarium if you have two, but a 20 long is going to be better because it's they're longer and they have more floor space. But if you just have one, it can live in a 10-gallon. And for the bedding, you can use like reptile carpet. If you wanted to, you could use paper towel if you want it to be easier to clean. But I always use this Eco Earth. I also have a cave in there, and then I have a plant, and I have a humidity box that they need for when they shed, so that it helps, because the moss will help them scrape off their skin. And you need to have moss in there to keep it moist at all times. And then I also have a mealworm dish, a worm dish, because I also put waxworms and superworms in there too. And then I give them crickets about once a week that I throw in there. Now, yeah, I have a water dish, a mealworm dish, a humidity hide, a fake plant, and a cave that they can hide in. And then I have a heat pad under the cave side, so that they have a warm side, and then I have a cool side. Then I also have a heat lamp on there that is in the middle, so that it kind of keeps it warm. It's kind of towards the side that has the heat pad, so it keeps that side warm. And then there's a cool side. Now for lighting, they don't require any special UVB lighting. They just need to have heat. So you can use just like a heat pad, or you can use a heat lamp. I use a Zoomed Mini Deep Dome with a Zilla 75-watt basking bulb. And it heats up the cage, keeps it warm for them. And I also have the under tank heater under the cave, so that they can go in there. That's mainly what they hide, to stay warm. And for the heat pad, when you use a heat pad, when you have the bedding on top of it, it won't get very warm, but that warm. So on that side, I have piece of reptile carpet under the cave that the cave sits on, and then a little eco earth on it, so it's just like a thin layer on it, and it's kind of sloped up so that it gets more heat in the cave for them. And then you do need just need to make sure they have a basking spot that they can go and warm up if they get too cold. But these guys always do just fine going in the cave to get warm. Now you never want to use a heat rock for these guys, because when they lay on the heat rock, it can actually burn their bellies, and it can harm them, and it can sometimes actually kill them. Now, these two geckos are, since they're about 2 years old, they're actually pretty much full size. This is, I think it's a male and female, actually, because I think the darker one's the female, and the lighter one's the male. And, yeah, I'm not sure. I've had them for a while, and they haven't really bred or nothing, so I don't know if that's what they are. But they're a bonded pair, and they have lived together their whole lives. And when I got them, they actually were babies, and they have lived together ever since I got them. And now their lifespan is about 10 to 15 years for these guys. But some have been known to live 20 plus years in captivity when taken real good care of. So yeah. And if anybody knows if the darker one's a female and the lighter one's a male, or the darker one's the male and the lighter one's the female, let me know. Unless, I'm just assuming they're probably the same. They haven't, laid any eggs, or I haven't really caught them mating or nothing, so I don't know. If you know, you can leave them in the comments below. Now these were very good pets to have. They're very easy to take care of and low maintenance. Now, if you would like to see any more videos of Nubs and Stubs, or any of my other animals, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Now if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, make sure to leave those in the comments below too. Make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Until next time, take care.